Church, it is a great privilege for me to spend some time with you again in your house, your car, your office, wherever you are. This is my last message on the characters from the Bible. So today I want to spend some time on the character of Jeremiah. And he was a very peculiar character. The reason for that is he was a prophet in the time of the last 5 kings of Judah. And he was a prophet that was called at a very young age. And we find his story in Jeremiah 1 verse 6 to 8. Where he's called and his reply to God is, I'm very young. I'm not the right person for this job. And then God says, no, I'll be with you. Don't be afraid. I will send you and you will go and speak to them. But one of the things that stand out from his life, the life of Jeremiah, that he was called the weeping prophet. The reason for that is he carried the heart and the reality of what was going on amongst his people. He carried it very close to his heart. He was overwhelmed by the fact, the unrighteousness that he saw and the brokenness of his people that he saw. And the reality is that's why I prophesied and tried to help them to come back to the heart of the Father. And one of the prevalent reasons for that was false worship. Not necessarily just in idols, but the way they expressed themselves wasn't really aligned with the heart of God. They had outward expressions of worship, but their hearts wasn't worshiping God. And Jeremiah was trying to bring the nation back to the heart of God. It was built up until they were in captivity, and the prophecy that he gave that God will bring us back. God will bring us back out of this hardship, but we have to come back to the heart of the Father. His crying was such a big thing that he also wrote the book of Lamentations, which is literally a book about crying and the reality of the brokenness and the time and the society that he lived in. Because 2 things happened. He was broken because what he saw in other people and in his nation, but he was also broken about the reason that they didn't want to receive his word, the prophecy that he brought to them. And it found its culmination in Jeremiah 20, where Jeremiah basically gives up and says, I'm done. I'm speaking. Nobody's listening to me. I'm an enemy of the people. But he says, but the word of God is burning inside of me. And before I can get myself, I speak about his greatness again. May we learn this very important lesson from the life of Jeremiah, that he truly had a heart for his people. Even though some of the words that he brought was hard and uncomfortable for them to hear about their own unrighteousness and sin, the reality was he was broken for their broken state so that they can be made whole. And this is an important lesson for the modern church today, that we sometimes also need to make sure that our hearts are broken and we see the brokenness and the hurt of society around us, so they truly know that we care for their broken state in which they are in. So I hope that you can see in our nation and also in our city and even in our families the broken state of many people around us, and that we will have a heart for them that is willing to be broken for them as well. When we carry, and if we carry, and where we carry the message of Christ with us, may we also do that in seeing their brokenness as well. I truly hope that this 3-week series or 4-week series on characters out of the Bible added value to your life. We enjoyed giving it, but we will see you next week as we start our new one. May the Lord bless you. Goodbye.